Welcome to Talkin Tigers. I'm Rachel Whittaker. Well, the 2-week search is over. LSU's new defensive coordinator comes from the SEC in Alabama linebackers coach Kevin Steele. Here to discuss it is our LSU columnist Ron Higgins. Ron, welcome.
Hi, Rachel.
Well, Kevin Steele's experience as a defensive coordinator actually isn't all that extensive. He held the position in '07 at Alabama, then 3 years at Clemson before being fired in 2012. So, Ron, your first impressions of this hire?
Well, I mean, I thought it wasn't a wow hire. It was more like a hire. Kevin Steele? He's been around. I can say that for him. His two defensive coordinating jobs didn't great. In Alabama, he was kind of shuffled to another spot, and at Clemson, he was fired. But he has a reputation as a great recruiter and a good teacher of linebackers. And maybe they're hoping that the recruiting part and the teaching part will compensate for the fact he hasn't been just a great defensive coordinator, which I thought LSU would go out and get after John Chavis went to Texas A&M. That didn't happen. Perhaps Les Miles thought time is running out. It's about 3 weeks to the end of the signing period. It's coming up pretty quick. And when signing time, I mean, it's coming up in 3 weeks. And so maybe he thought he had to hire somebody at this point, and there was nobody left out there. That's the only thing I could think of with this hire.
Right, you mentioned his recruiting abilities. He definitely is known as a stellar recruiter. But his head coaching stop was at Baylor from '99 to '02, where he went 9-36. But Ron, what's the biggest challenge you expect Steele to face, and how do you think he'll impact the LSU coaching staff and the defense?
It just remains to be seen if he can come in and do some of the things that he did that Chavis did. John had a totally different style than Kevin Steele, who I was told by a few coaches in the profession that he's really I guess more of a screamer, so to speak.
Right, and Chavis also focused on linebackers while he was at LSU, so perhaps that's something that Miles and company had in mind when they brought Steele on board. And news also broke on Wednesday that former Ole Miss head coach Ed Orgeron is joining the defensive staff as defensive line coach, a position that Brick Haley has held. So, Ron, your take on that and how Orgeron will fit in with Les Miles in the defense?
Well, in South Louisiana, Ed Orgeron speaks the language, so to speak. I mean, he's got that Cajun vibe going, and I think it's going to play well among recruits. But he's played well among recruits all over the nation. And one thing about Ed Orgeron as a position coach is he's excellent. He's an excellent position coach. He's excellent as a recruiter, and that's his strong suit. Now, as a head coach at Ole Miss, he was an absolute train wreck. And I don't know if it suits Ed to be a head coach, but I know as a position coach, you may not find a better defensive line coach than Ed Orgeron. So this was a really good hire for LSU in that spot, from the teaching standpoint and from the standpoint of recruiting.
Right, the familiarity again here in the South, and he was 10 and 25 at Ole Miss, so not the greatest right there, no bowl appearances, but again, we're going to hear from Miles, Steele, and Orgeron later on Wednesday, so should be interesting. Well, Ron, thanks a lot. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Rachel.
And thank you for watching Talkin Tigers. See you again tomorrow.